Well, hello there, folks. Welcome back to the Oh McDonough YouTube channel. We are here for the return of Celtic for the 2026-27 season. 45 days ago, Celtic ended their season with a double, a 3-1 victory over Dunfermline in the Scottish Cup final at Hampden Park. What a season it was, and what an end to a season it was. Hopefully, more of the same this season. But for today, not as pressurising environment. It's Shelbourne in Dublin, Tolka Park. Good to get some minutes into the legs. Thank you for joining the stream. Please like and subscribe, get involved in the chat. We're going to be here for the game, going through the teams. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Celtic going forward in the chat below, and get in any questions you have. We're going to go through Celtic's team now. So for the first time this season, Ross Doohan, Colby Donovan, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Dane Murray, a young Heaney getting his first appearance in the Celtic first team, Captain Cal McGregor, Paolo Bernardo, McArdle, James Forrest, Ange Balagwisha, who we'll touch on later on, and Callum Osmond, a player that many Celtic fans are looking forward to seeing this season. So lots to look forward to today. Hopefully a good result. Let me know your score prediction in the comments down below as well as we head into the game. Looking at the team, some players that I am looking forward to seeing. I think Ange Balagwisha, so far the signing's been a disaster, so it can only go up from here. Hopefully he can get a good performance into his legs during these preseason games, four of them in total, which we'll also look at: Sporting Lisbon, Middlesbrough, AC Milan. So we're going to have lots of content on the channel. Hopefully Ange Balagwisha is a player that we have lots of positive things to say, and I don't like using this phrase, but could he be like a new signing? He possibly could, so we'll get into that in the stream. So we're just a couple minutes away from kickoff now. 4-1 HCE67 saying in the chat 4-1 to Celtic. My score prediction for today, I think we'll see goals. I think with Shelbourne being in the middle of their season in the League of Ireland, currently in 5th place, they'll be up for this game. They have European qualifiers later on as well in the coming weeks, so I think there's a lot in it for both teams. Shelbourne, they're up to fitness, they're up to scratch as it stands. Celtic, it's just about getting minutes into the legs. We can see on the bench as well. I'll get into them players as we get into the stream a wee bit here now. And I think at halftime we'll see a completely different 11 to what is out there for the first half. So looking at the subs, Sinizalo, Scales, McCowan, Navraki, someone coming back on loan, Shin, Yamada, someone who was also on loan last season for the second half of the season, Arne Engels, Bonner, Montgomery, Hatton, Darraghy, Turley, Ogbanwe, Charlton and Kennedy. So a mix of experience in Arne Engels, Sinizalo and some youth players looking to try and get into the team and try and get some first team minutes coming in to the next season. Also something we'll look at in the next 2 hours or so is the lack of signings. Celtic are apparently agreeing a deal for a striker who we'll get into. He scored 5 Champions League goals last season, so hopefully this time next week when we're looking at Sporting Lisbon v Celtic, hopefully he is in the starting 11 for that game. We're 2 minutes away from kickoff now. As we can see, there is thousands of Irish supporters in Dublin. Celtic have a massive following in Ireland. I'm Irish myself. I was down at the Sligo Rovers game a couple of years back in a pre-season, not pre-season, but a mid-season game. It was a bit strange during an international break, seeing the likes of Luke McCowan, Yang, players like that getting some minutes into the legs during the season. So it was a great occasion. Sold out showgrounds that day. Celtic winning on the night 3-2. Luis Palma, no less, getting a hat-trick and 2 late goals to salvage the win for Celtic. It was proud for me to see Celtic play in Ireland, as someone from Ireland, going over to Glasgow many times this season. It was great to see them on home soil, and definitely something to tick off the bucket list. We got another prediction. The only way is up 5. He's saying Celtic 5-3. 5-3 would definitely appetise me today. Lots of goals is what I want to see, and just overall lots of minutes into the legs for some players that need them as the players come out to the tunnel now. So yeah, this is my first live watch along. If you're new to the channel, check out some of the videos after the stream. I'm posting now since January, lots of different content on the channel. Check out the playlists, go through a little binge watch. I talk about transfer news, preview and react to all the games as they happen. Also, lots of fun stuff. Did a bit about the World Cup as well. So check that out on the channel. Yeah. So I'm excited to see Celtic back. Obviously, there'll be lots of people that's watching Argentina right now losing 1-0 to Egypt in the World Cup. That game is half time now. So, there's lots of football on, but it's hard to beat the main event, Celtic Football Club, and that's what we're all here to see. A big crowd, a sold out Tolka Park, and we'll have a look at Shelbourne now, see what they're offering. So here we are on screen now just before the game kicks off. Tolka Park, a capacity of 9,681. Decently sized stadium for the League of Ireland. A key player to watch out for, Harry Wood, 24 games this season, 10 goals, 5 assists. And in the League of Ireland, they're in 5th place. This is their recent form, just coming off the back of a 2-1 win at home to Dundalk. So we'll have a look further on in the video, in the live stream, about Shelbourne, as Captain Callum McGregor is there to... It's a wonderful evening in Dublin. The sun is shining, and a great occasion to be at. I envy all the Celtic supporters there that are at the game, hopefully seeing a good contest now. So it's now time, I suppose, to give my score prediction. How do I think this game is going to end? Well, I think I'm going to go for a 3-3. Lots of goals. I think that's what you can expect in a pre-season game like this. Celtic, Martin O'Neill, he'll just want to get players up to speed. And as I said, players like Balagwisha, who hasn't got much of a look in, even Paulo Bernardo to a certain extent, hopefully he can get a good run out today, a good 45 minutes into the leg. So yeah, get your score prediction in the comments below. Celtic also wearing their new 26-27 home kit for the first time. It's a nice top. It is a nice top. I know some people will still be doing the Not Another Penny campaign. That's for everyone to decide themselves. I don't think people should be fighting amongst themselves. We've seen enough fighting among Celtic supporters last season, almost the pro board, anti-board stuff. So yeah, hopefully we can all put that behind us, but we can only put that behind us if Celtic get the signings done and over the line, because we need to get into the Champions League. I'm not going to sit here and say that everything just needs to be happy and merry, we won the double and we should just forget about the board. We can't say that, because we need new signings. We need to progress as a football club. We got a new set piece coach in, which is a good sign that we're hopefully planning for the future. That's what we need to do. We're just seconds away from kickoff. I'll get the live game clock up as soon as the game gets underway, so you can have the game. If you're watching the game with me on the side, you can have the game matched up to that as well. So yeah, should be a good contest today. Martin O'Neill in the nice casual gear today, nice shirt, some brown trousers, stuff like that. So he's ready, raring to go. Really excited for the new season, and hopefully we can get a few signings in. It says the only way is up. Hopefully some new signings is what we're all crying out for at this stage. We'll talk on Duran, the striker coming from Karabag. He'd be a great addition. So how many players do Celtic really need this summer? Some people saying 10, something like that, but I think, well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Just as Callum Osmond, I think it is set to get this game underway. It is, and we are away now as the game clock is working. That's a big pressure off my back there. I've been waiting the preparation in the past couple of days. I want to try and make this thing more regular, doing some watch alongs for the channel. So yeah, a Shelbourne of an early cross into the box just over the top. Everyone in short sleeves, a lot of hoops in the crowd today, and why wouldn't you? It's the day for it. As I said, a sold out crowd with a mix of red and white and green and white. It's set up to be a great occasion for sure. And it is a nice ground. You have the old kind of tin roof, and there's just a bit of class around the stadium. Celtic try and move the ball forward here. Another player that I'd like to see get a couple minutes during this pre-season is Mike Navraki. Now, he was on loan last season at Hanover. He got a good bit of game time, and I hope he can build on that. Brendan Rodgers never really gave him the opportunity that he would have wanted to progress as a player. We've seen snippets of him being a very good player. I think against Rangers he got an appearance and stuff like that. So hopefully he can progress now. We have Cameron Carter-Vickers coming back today at some stage, hopefully not in the squad, but there's different ways that Celtic can progress. Sorry, Cameron Carter-Vickers is starting. Cameron Carter-Vickers had a bad injury, that Achilles injury in the Europa League game last season, one of Brendan Rodgers' last game as the Celtic manager. Are you doing watch-alongs through the season or just for pre-season games? Well, to be honest, I'm just going to have a see how it goes. If people like it and if I enjoy it, I think I'll give it a go through some of the games in the season. The nerves would be on display if I do it throughout the league season. I can't imagine doing it through the tail end of last year, them games against Hearts, Rangers, Motherwell. Wow, the pressurising environment. And I think there would have been a lot of stages of silence and just a lot of nerves overall. But if you guys enjoy it and want to become a part of the community here, the Owen McDonough YouTube channel, trying to build a community for Celtic fans to be in and overall just enjoy, get their opinion across, and we can have some discussion in that way. So yeah, not much happening in the game so far. Down the left hand side now, Cal McGregor, nice ball into the box now. Callum Osman looking to get on the back of it, but I cannot get it, and we're just doing a bit of pinball so far. But it's going to be like that. Celtic haven't played in a long time. Now we've Colby Donovan. Thankfully, Colby Donovan's staying on this year. There was rumours that his contract had expired at the end of the season, but thankfully that is not the case. Colby Donovan is still a Celtic player and someone that I would like to see get more game time. On Colby Donovan, let me pose a question to the chat here now. If Colby Donovan was to get a move on loan to somewhere else in the Scottish Premiership, Aberdeen, somewhere like that, Motherwell, even possibly, even though Jens Bertoascu has moved on the summer transfer window, what would your opinions be? Consistent game time could be crucial for him. Obviously, we have Anthony Ralston, who is apparently going to be getting a new contract in the incoming weeks. We also have Alistair Johnson coming off the back of a fantastic World Cup. So if we can hold on to Alistair Johnson, and we have Anthony Ralston, is there a spot right now for Colby Donovan? I'm not too sure. And for him to progress, I think we need consistent game time for him. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think about Colby Donovan as a player. Surprisingly, there's mixed thoughts on him. Some people really rate him. I'm one of them. I think he's very tenacious. He gets stuck in. Others, not as big a fan of him. But each to their own. I think the pre-season is where he can show his qualities. So far now we have Shells on the ball in the middle of the pitch, fizzed out to the left-hand side. And Shells is going to be a good test for them. They're, as I said already, in the mid-season, not exactly where they want to be. In 2024 they did win the League of Ireland. Now they're mid-table, so they'll be wanting to push up the ranks. I'll list out the table in the League of Ireland. Shamrock Rovers in first, owned by Dermot Desmond, same owner as Celtic. They're on 50 points. Bohemians 43 points. St Pat's 41, Dundalk 35, and Shelbourne 34. So they're 16 points away from ultimately where they'd want to be at the top of the League of Ireland. Unfortunately, that's not where they are right now. Damien Duff leaving in the middle of last season after a fantastic achievement, winning the league for them. And they don't have the biggest budget. That is Shamrock Rovers, teams like that. Derry City pumping in massive money with James McLean, past players from the Scottish Premiership as well that we've seen with Hearts. So Shells are pushing above their weight, and ultimately, you want to see them do well. As someone who would follow the League of Ireland a good bit, he's on TV every Friday evening, so it is good to follow the league. So yeah, hail, says Catholic Rebel 1888. Hello, how are you getting on? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. It's a lovely sunny day where I am and in Tolka Park in Dublin. And Shells are kind of getting the foothold in this game so far. Ange Balagwisha, just unfortunate not to keep the ball in play there. So it is a fantastic day. The Shells fans are on their feet. And it's an old style ground, something that you don't see too often. But it is good to see in comparison to the grounds that we've seen in the World Cup so far, from Texas to Los Angeles, even Toronto, Vancouver, the Azteca. What about that England game? On Sunday night, that was a game and a half there, you could say. But yeah, unfortunately too, all the Celtic players have now been knocked out of the World Cup, as there's a strong tackle in there and Celtic win a free kick on the edge of the box. Ange Balagwisha absolutely tumbled to the floor there. and that could even be a card, as the replay shows again. That is a hard-hitting tackle for pre-season friendly. Don't think Martin O'Neill, Sean Maloney, Mark Foderingham will be a fan of that, and he fairly goes sliding in. He doesn't win any of the ball, and I think if that's a normal game, he definitely receives the yellow card there, but I guess the ref's letting it flow for this one. Yeah. Alistair Johnson, a bit of a word on him too, as Celtic prepare for this free kick. We'll see this free kick first. Balagwisha puts it into the box. It's headed down by Colby Donovan, but no Celtic player can get on the end of it after that. It's received by this Shelbourne goalkeeper. Alistair Johnson, you know, I have a connection to Canada. Family out there is a big part of who I am. I would say watching Canada was fantastic. Obviously, I'd like to see Ireland at the World Cup. I was keeping an eye on Scotland as well in there, but Canada, who is the team I was rooting for, Alistair Johnson, what a performance throughout the tournament from him. Named in the team of the group stage in the whole World Cup out of all the right backs. You've seen the names in there. You've seen Messi and Mbappe, these players alongside Alistair Johnson. He's had a good World Cup, and he had a good World Cup in 2022 where Celtic signed him from Montreal. Watching him that first game, Canada's first game in over 30 years at the World Cup against Belgium, just narrowly losing 1-0 4 years ago. You could see that he was a star. A couple hours later, he was linked with Celtic. A couple of weeks later, Celtic had signed him and he made his debut in that Glasgow derby at Ibrox, a 2-2 draw. So, Alistair Johnson, hopefully we can keep him, as Celtic are in behind here, and Callum Osman just can't get on the ball. And Shells are able to retrieve the ball, but Celtic find a way to get it back. I'm liking the intensity. It's a fast start from Celtic, and that's what we need to see. Now we have James Forrest. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, James Forrest. Cuts inside, the classic James Forrest run from the left-hand side into the right. Balagwisha is looking lively. He's getting on the ball. That's what we want to see from him too. At times when he did get his opportunity at the start of last season, we rarely seen what he wanted to do, which was go forward. I'd watched highlights of him when he was at Royal Antwerp, was it, in Belgium, and he was an attacking player. Doesn't necessarily have the pace that Celtic supporters would want him to have, but in saying that, he was still an attacking minded player as a winger, but we didn't see that for Celtic. Hopefully Martin O'Neill gives him an opportunity, or else it's just a waste of money, and it's another position where we need to get a replacement in already, just a year after spending over £5 million from. Celtic's pinned Shells into the corner and they win the ball back here, but Paulo Bernardo loses it out, and Shells try and break on the counter-attack. Well, that's a great interception, Cal McGregor, and there's a good intensity to this, as there would be. Shells in the middle of the season, Celtic want to prove it. No players here obviously played at the World Cup, so a lot to prove. No Rio Hatate in the squad today, which is unfortunate, but I think Rio Hatate's time at Celtic is ultimately over. I think we've seen the end of him, and he's had his moments at Celtic, definitely, which I touched on a couple days ago in the video. 5 players that may leave Celtic in this summer transfer window. We'll put that up now just to see what that is. So here it is, my 2 most recent videos, Time to Cash In, where I talked about Benjamin Negron, Rio Hatate, some of them players, which we'll look at later on. Also, a couple of weeks ago, I looked at 5 must-sign players, the likes of Elijah Just, Cole, Campbell, players like that Celtic need to get in if they want to progress and try and get into the Champions League, which is ultimately a must this season. If Celtic don't get into the Champions League, well, we've really left it hard for ourselves yet again. We want to try and compete at that top level. We've seen what it was like against Bayern Munich, how close we ran them at the Allianz Arena. But there you go, hopefully we can get into the Champions League. Let me know in the comments down below, do you think Celtic will qualify for the Champions League? I'm hopeful that we do, but after Kairat Almaty last season, I'm not so sure. But Martin O'Neill is the manager. St. Martin's at the wheel, so hopefully he can help us get over the hurdle of last season. Hopefully we can get into the biggest competition, Europeans' premier competition, and some might say the premier competition in world football. Hard to say that right now with the World Cup going on. And while I say that, let's have a look at the score now for Argentina and Egypt. It is still 1-0 to Egypt, as I'm aware there'll be a lot of people watching that. But anyone that's here, I appreciate you. Get involved in the chat. Let me know your thoughts on Celtic at the moment. Probably Celtic's been on the back burner for a lot of people with just so much football on in the past couple of weeks, but get involved in the community. Open for all, just like Celtic at Club is open for all. This channel is open for anybody from Celtic supporters. Even if you've no interest in Celtic, get involved and see what you have to say. There'll be a place for you in this community. So yeah, still 1-0 to Egypt. Wow, what a shock. Messi missing a penalty in the 21st minute. That's 2 penalties he's missed now for Argentina in this tournament, 2 in 3 games. So not our main focus, but just something to keep on the back burner. As Shelbourne have a corner just over 12 minutes into the game here. And it's into the box, shooting from left to right in this first half, Shelbourne. And it goes right out the other side. And a goal kick for Celtic, and Ross Doohan will be taking it. Celtic currently only have 2 goalkeepers on their roster after Kasper Schmeichel leaving at the end of his contract on the 30th of June. So we need to get in another goalkeeper. Does this mean his time is up? Definitely. He's retired from football. What about Sinizalo? What does this mean for him? Will he be the number 1 goalkeeper? Well, he's been given the number 1 jersey, so that could be an indicator into that case. So I'd like to see Sinizalo. I think this is about 50-50, whether people want him to stay or whether we want to see a replacement. I want Sinizalo to stay. Yes, there was a few kind of shaky moments when he was at Celtic at stages, I think, notably the Scottish Cup semi-final against St Mirren, that 6-2 thrashing ultimately at the end of the game. But I think Sinizalo has to be Celtic's number 1. I like him as a goalkeeper. I think he has a good personality, and that's why you need a Celtic number 1. Joe Hart, there was big boots to fill when he left. Kasper Schmeichel, I thought, did very well in his first season. Then at the end of his first year, as Celtic come into the box, Callum Osman just can't get on the end of that cross. At the end of Kasper Schmeichel's first season, he was kind of injured. He came back in for the Scottish Cup final against Aberdeen, which led to them winning the game, getting back into the game, didn't save any of the penalties, and put the ball into his own net from across. So we're now on to Sinizalo. Celtic will sign a goalkeeper. What kind of player? I'm not too sure. I hope Sinizalo is given a chance. You brought him in at the same stage as Kasper Schmeichel to try and get him an opportunity in the first team. He has now been given this first opportunity, and he needs to take it. He needs to be given a chance because there was a plan in place. We don't see too many plans in place from Celtic, but that was one where the 2 keepers were brought in at the same time. Hopefully he's given the opportunity. Michael Locker 2740 says Shells 1-0, Lanigan to score well. Lanigan, that would be an interesting shout. I'm not sure who he'd be cheering for today, if it would be Shells or Celtic. From a person that would be anti-Celtic, so Ange Balagwisha puts it into the box. Celtic having a number of corners in this game, looking promising. So yeah, thanks for all the comments so far. Thanks for joining as well. Don't forget to subscribe. We've just hit 860 subscribers on the channel, trying to get to the big 1,000 before Celtic kick off their season in early August against, who's that against again? I should really know that. On the Monday night, Celtic Scottish Premiership fixtures. So yeah, first game Dundee, 7:30, Monday the 3rd of August, trying to hit 860 right now. We want to try and get up to 1,000. So yeah, thanks for joining the stream so far. It's been a good game, in fairness, for the champions of Scotland, the double winners, and Shells. We seriously watching this over Argentina. You know, this is the proper football here. A nice stadium, less than 10,000 capacity. I like it as Shells are on the counter-attack now outside the box, and it's off the post. Ross Doohan could do nothing about it, and it rebounds out. Shells have it on the far side now, and Celtic defend it, and it's out for a corner. That's positive signs from Shells, but me personally, I'd take this any day over watching Argentina or any World Cup. Even if Ireland was there, I would personally have to say I'd love to see Celtic play. Just in saying this, 45 days of no Celtic after what was a stressful season I don't mind the break too. You need to take the break where it comes, because definitely there is no ease with watching Celtic last season. You comment in, hail, hail, brothers and sisters, hail, hail to everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining me. As I said earlier, you could be watching Argentina right now, but you're not. You're watching Celtic, and that's what sets Celtic alike to different supporters, different fan bases. Celtic is like a religion to so many people, and that is why Ireland is here. Ireland started in Ballymote, County Sligo, and they continue that strong Irish connection last season, playing down in Páirc Uí Chaoimh against Cork. Season prior, which I was mentioning, against Sligo Rovers. Back in Brendan Rodgers' time, the 2017-2018 season, playing a couple friendlies in down Shamrock Rovers at Tallaght Stadium. So Ireland and pre-season friendlies with Celtic, lots of connection there for sure. James Forrest just caught offside there, and I must say, seeing that kit for the first time, it is a lovely kit. The gold trimming the 60th anniversary of the Lisbon Lions. One of my favourite Celtic kits, it has to be said. And we see that shot again. Ross Doohan could do nothing about it. Outside the box, it was a strong effort. Just unfortunate Shelbourne haven't took the lead just under 20 minutes into the game now. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, get your comments in, and we'll answer any questions you have, from the Celtic game to the World Cup to incoming signings. We'll have a look at absolutely everything. It's going to be strange coming up to the 25th minute or so, and there's no hydration break, but I wouldn't be surprised if Shelbourne had some clause that they wanted a hydration break, because they know Celtic are such a strong team, as Larkhill CSC flags are in the background. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining so far. We're up and around 15 viewers consistently here, so it really means a lot. My first live watch along, seeing how it goes. You got to try the new things, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. Put lots of work into making lots of graphics, which we'll get on, just in case the game does start to slow down a little bit, but I don't think it will. We'll have a good chat throughout the game. Anyway, let's see here. We'll put up the lineup for Celtic if anyone's coming into it. We have Ross Doohan, Colby Donovan, Carter Vickers making his return to the squad, to the starting 11. Dane Murray, Young Haney getting a run out at left back. Captain Callum McGregor, Paolo Bernardo, McArdle, James Forrest, Ange Balagwisha, and Callum Osmond. He sealed the deal. He won the league. He sent Scottish football into absolute meltdown, as I'm getting a notification, and it's a big notification for all concerned with the World Cup. It is Argentina 0, Egypt 2. That's a shock there, and definitely didn't see that coming. Argentina haven't been at their best this tournament, but in saying that, I didn't think they would fall behind that early. But there you go, Lionel Messi missing the penalty. If he'd have scored that, would they be in a different position? Well, they wouldn't be 2-0 down, that's for sure, as we just about reach the 20-minute mark. Dane Murray taking the ball out from his own box. Paolo Bernardo getting some feet on the ball. Paolo Bernardo, a fan favourite at times, really lacked game time in the past season. Unfortunate to see he had positive signs. That goal against Rangers, the 2-1 victory on the 30th of December 2023, one of my favourite derbies. And I think that could be my favourite derby goal outside the box. Luis Palma put it in. It found a way to Paolo Bernardo, and he absolutely smashed it into the back of the net. So I'm always excited to see Paolo Bernardo play, and you never know. These couple pre-season games could be the last that we see of him. Celtic get it into the box. Callum McGregor flicks it back to no Celtic player, and Shells can retreat. I'm liking the game so far. It's good to have Celtic back, and Ange Balagwisha wins it back fantastically, and there is Paolo Bernardo to retrieve it. Fair play. James Forrest now coming in, and Celtic reset back into their 4-3-3 formation, and that goal has been ruled out. There's a foul leading up to the goal, not too sure, so I'm watching the Celtic game as Callum Osmond toe pokes it, and it goes well out to the right hand side and wide. But it is only 1-0 to Egypt, and that's a let off for Argentina. Surely you'd think they'd use their momentum now and maybe get back into that game. Let's have a little bit of a look at Celtic now. Their last 5 games. Celtic Park, obviously, key player Callum McGregor, he gets heavily scrutinised at times from the Celtic supporters. I suppose rightfully so. Maybe he's not up to the same levels that he would have once been, but I think he's still the captain for Celtic. He's obviously still the captain, but I think he's the right man to be captain right now. 54 games last season, only the 3 goals, not as many as we've seen in the campaign previous, but 4 assists as well. Not a bad return. Celtic's form at the end of last season, wow. 3-1 win against Dunfermline, 3-1 win against Hearts, and I'd say the best Celtic game that I will ever attend. There's no comparison close to that. 1-0 down, Arnie Engels penalty. Just even the amount of time since that game's passed, during the World Cup games, even just reminiscing back to that moment. Callum Osman put the ball in the back of the net. Dyson Maida's goal getting ruled as onside. Just special scenes at Celtic Park. A couple of days before that, a 3-2 win away at Motherwell. Senior man Kelechi Iheanacho coming in big for Celtic. Where would we be without him? And where is he right now? He should be at Celtic. Celtic Football Club should have got the contract out and said, Kelechi, we're going to need you, big man. We're going to need you back in for this season. Fortunately, he's not yet been offered a contract. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has, not in the squad today, but I'd like to see Iheanacho get an opportunity with a full preseason behind him. Hopefully, at some stage, he'd have been able to play 90 minutes. That's not saying he won't sign for Celtic, but you know what I mean. It's one that you don't want it to get done as soon as possible, definitely. As it's a ball into the box again from Celtic, James Forrest this time puts it back out to Callum McGregor, finding himself in a similar position where he absolutely smashed the winner in against St Mirren back at the end of November at Paisley in Martin O'Neill's first spell on his return to the club. And that's Perange Balaguisha wins it back, but a sloppy pass. Callum Osmond can't be put through in on goal, 1-on-1 with the keeper. And Shell's starting to be a bit sloppy. Celtic's intensity has upped in the past few minutes, and we're definitely seeing the Celtic that we want to see. Some pressure on the ball, getting involved, and hopefully getting involved in the goals. My score prediction of 3-3 isn't necessarily going through yet. We still have lots of time. We're going to see some of the subs come on and hopefully make an impact in this game. I expect a full 45 minutes for one half, one team, a full 40 minutes for the second half of another team. We'll see Sinazalo, players like that come in, who we've touched on. Cameron Carter-Vickers too on the ball, and he could be a new signing. Again, using that saying, but he could be if he shows the levels that he has and it's outside the box. And wow, that's well over the top, and that lands into the crowd. Somebody wearing an Inter Miami Messi jersey as Paulo Bernardo, number 28, fires it over the bar. So yeah, thank you for joining me so far. We've been live for 40 minutes. We're live into this game, 24 minutes into it. So yeah, get any queries, any questions, any thoughts on Celtic going forward this season in the comments below. And yeah, as I said, it's great to be here with you all on this lovely Tuesday evening at around 6:30 Irish time. And yeah, as I've been saying, Celtic's really getting a foothold in this game now. Shells are really struggling to get out of that midfield area for Celtic's just dominating. So I don't mind that now. I don't mind that. Callum McGregor getting a nice little touch about in this game. I think it was a good thing for him to retire from international football after the Euros in 2024 in Germany. That's just prolonged his Celtic career, and we need that. We need that. Another year or two out of Callum McGregor, and we'll be doing nice. Who does the next Celtic captain be? Kieran Tierney is a Celtic are in, and Ange, is that Ange Balaguisha? It is not. It's Paulo Bernardo. Got into a fantastic position. It was a lovely ball over the top through to him by Callum McGregor, no less. Just as we're talking about him, Paulo Bernardo managed to stay onside, and he just chips it over the bar, and it's a tough one. He took it down brilliantly, didn't live up to the finish that we needed, but positive signs overall for Celtic. Before I go back to talking about Callum McGregor and the future Celtic captaincy, I want to have a little bit of a look at the style of play. Celtic didn't have a style of play when Martin O'Neill was here last season. We've seen when Wilfred Nancy came in, that was an absolute disaster. Things changed too quickly, too soon, and Celtic just lost so many football games where we couldn't afford to lose. This season, we're going to need a style of play from Martin O'Neill. Hopefully, Sean Maloney, Mark Fodringham can introduce that style of play on the training ground. Because if not, we're going to see the same as last season. A lot of 2-1 wins, 3-1 wins. Yes, is a lot better than 2-1, but We need to score goals. We need to try and keep clean sheets. We were absolutely hopeless at keeping clean sheets last season. I think that was down to the lack of goals we're scoring. Looking at baseball, you can't win if you don't if you don't get more runs than the other team. It's the same in football now. And it's obvious to say, but if you don't score more goals, you're not going to win. And Celtic are really struggling to score goals with a striker. I think there's no better time to look at him now. And that's Camilo Duran, striker from Karabakh, scored 5 goals last season in the UEFA Champions League. He's experienced in that department. We need a goal scorer. We haven't had a proper goal scorer since Kyogo left. And there's no sugarcoating that. He's 24 years of age from Colombia. Celtic have reportedly agreed a £5.5 million deal for him. Last season for Karabakh, he played 45 games, scoring 15 goals, getting 1 assist. And the stat I've touched on, 10 games in the Champions League and 5 goals in that competition. Similar to Daizen Maeda, who scored 4 goals in the Champions League the season before last, and hopefully he'll slot into the Celtic team. We need some more numbers in, some wingers, a fullback maybe. Marcelo Sarachi, what's the story with him? But for Camilo Duran, he's a player that I'm excited to see. We finally spent money on a striker. Letting Adamita go was a crazy decision at the end of last season. At the start of last season, sorry, but as I've got another notification in, it is now 2-0 to Egypt. They have got the goal. Will this one stand? I'm not too sure. And I don't think I can believe this. I've just looked up at the game now. 28 minutes have passed and we're having a hydration break. I thought I could get away from the World Cup. I thought I could get away from the hydration breaks, but we are having a hydration break. Temperatures must be warm in the north side of Dublin, especially at Tolka Park, because unless there's an injury that I've not seen, we're having a hydration break. And that is, we're having a hydration break. The Celtic players have cold towels, getting the water on board, and I mean, wow, let me know your thoughts on what's the chances of a hydration break coming into Scottish football, coming into football in general in the next few years, because I can't believe I'm seeing that. That is really crazy to see. That is really crazy to see. But I was actually joking earlier, if you're in the stream maybe 10-15 minutes ago, we won't be seeing a hydration break today, but turns out we are. I wonder if the Celtic and Shelbourne supporters are booing that decision, but while they are, I'm going to have a look at the weather report in Dublin, the north side of Dublin. What is it actually like at Tolka Park? Right now where I am, it's 17 degrees. Don't think you need a water break there, a hydration break. For the north side of Dublin, the current temperatures are 25 degrees. I'll let them off. Maybe I was underselling the temperatures in Dublin right now in Ireland, but there you go. We're having the hydration break. The referee's getting the water on board as well. He's making sure he's hydrated. Yeah, that's just not something I expected to see. I expected to see it in the game later on between Colombia and Switzerland, but not between Shelbourne and Celtic. But there you go. Get shocked every day. Ross Doohan there with the number 31. Solid start so far from him. We didn't see him all of last season. He was the third choice goalkeeper. Could he play more this season? Celtic don't get in a proper third choice keeper, I wonder, but it's an interesting one. Definitely an interesting one. Yeah, 30 minutes into the game, 15 minutes to go before half time. Still no goals in this game, no substitutions either, and no cards, despite Ant Balgwisha being tackled heavily by the Shelbourne defender. Celtic won a free kick, unfortunately. He hit it into the box. Colby Donovan got his head on it, but that was as far as the ball went, and Shelbourne were able to take it out for a goal kick. But it looks like that goal for Egypt has stood this time by the same player, Mustafa Ziko, getting his goal. A bit about him: he's a striker, 29 years of age, plays for Pyramids FC in Egypt, and he scored 6 goals in 22 games in their league this season, so not a bad return. Now scoring on the biggest stage and possibly knocking Argentina out of the World Cup. Personally, I think this is far more entertaining than the World Cup, but that is just my opinion. And we should be getting back into this game now very shortly. I'll be interested to see if there'll be time added on at halftime, because sometimes in these friendlies they just go straight through, and We don't see any time added on despite breaks, injuries, stuff like that. So yeah. And it is underway again. Dean Murray on the ball with the yellow boots. No pink boots on display as of yet. The pink boots that we're seeing all over the World Cup this year. All the companies thought they'd do the same idea, try to outsmart each other, and it turns out everyone is wearing boots that look exactly like each other. But what can you do? That's just per marketing, I guess, from the departments all going for the same idea. I think it'll take a couple minutes now to get the rhythm back into this game. Intensity has been high so far, but Celtic might just tire a couple minutes before half time. Shelbourne might find their time to pounce now. And it is taken in nicely into the box, and shouts for a penalty from the Shelbourne crowd. Gets back up again, edge of the box now. Will there be a shot off? And Celtic do manage to defend it well, but a free kick is given away, and Shelbourne will have a cross into the box now. An opportunity to possibly get a goal. But it was defended well. Ultimately, before that free kick was given away. There you go. Can't get all the breaks of the ball now. And again, yeah, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, get involved in the chat. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the season starts on the 3rd of August. So yeah, it's about 140 subscribers before then. Get involved in the channel. There's a little bit of everything. There's fun Celtic content, there's serious Celtic content, transfer news, match previews, anything related to Celtic that you could think of. We'll be covering it in the next few weeks. And yeah, let me know as well what you think of the graphics. I've been spending a good bit of time over the past few days working on some of them, as we can see off to my right hand side. The Shelbourne Celtic, a bit of branding, you know. I think the software I've used as well for the scoreboard is working so far so good. If we see a goal, we might see some interesting stuff on the scoreboard as well. So hopefully we see that. Hopefully everything can run smoothly. And so far it has been. Thank you for joining me. Let me know if you think Celtic's going to get a goal and who's it going to come by, as they are in here. And it's a scramble in the box. Paulo Bernardo cannot get it out of his feet. Callum McGregor does get it now. Edge of the box. It's given out to James Forrest, the birthday boy, number 49. The homegrown hero for Celtic. It's kind of petered out, and Shelbourne have about 9 or 10 men behind the ball, stopping Celtic from really gaining anything going forward now. I think so far the best thing that we've seen from Celtic is the counter-attacks. That is really where they're kind of getting their joy. It's the same for Shelbourne. Just unfortunate that there's been no goal for either side yet. 0-0, 34 minutes and 23 seconds into the game, as spot does become open. It's kind of just the final ball. It's been lacking so far for Celtic, but you know, that's always going to happen in pre-season. Later on in the second half, we'll look ahead to the future pre-season games for Celtic. We'll look ahead at the schedule, everyone who we're playing, when and where. Let me know as well if you want me to do more of these live streams for the pre-season games. I'll be open to do them as long as the people enjoy them and we can build a bit of a community here. It's always been something I wanted to do, live stream the games, get involved with the channel, get involved with Celtic supporters, just have a bit of a chat about Celtic. Shelbourne get in behind here and it's out for a corner somehow. Must have got a touch on that. Was Paulo Bernardo. Paulo Bernardo's been all over the pitch so far, and hopefully that's him making a claim to try and get into the first team next season, as we will prepare for a corner to Shelbourne. It was just a ball played through and behind, and Paulo Bernardo did get a decisive touch just to knock it away from the attacker. Header in from the corner is just wide. Ross Doohan, nothing to worry about there. Out for a goal kick. So yeah, we're 35 minutes into the game. I've seen some good stuff so far from Celtic. I've seen some positive signs, a couple of worrying signs, but not too much, obviously. It's early days. Yeah, as Callum Osmond is in behind and it's saved by the goalkeeper. Celtic have an opportunity now. Oh, it's just headed away. Cal McGregor absolutely smashes it into the defender there, but it was an opportunity. Callum Osmond, Celtic couldn't just get the touch to take it into the back of the net. We're going to do another poll, and we're going to end this one that I had done at the start of the stream. 40 votes, 77% of the people think Celtic's going to win, 12% think it's going to be a draw, and 10% think Shelbourne are going to get over the line today and clinch a victory against Celtic. So let me see what other poll could we do here now. As a shot is fired in again by Celtic, this time to the left and wide. Shelbourne goalkeeper had no worries about that one, just to the left and wide of the post. This time Ange Balagwisha coming on the right hand side. Nice ball through. Yeah, there's Callum Osmond's shot again. Good save from the goalkeeper. Let me see. We'll do one. How many players will Celtic sign this window? And let me know in the comments below how many players will Celtic sign? How many players? I think this is an interesting one because so far every team in the Scottish Premiership has signed players and Celtic are yet to sign. So hopefully with Duran coming in now in the next couple of days, hopefully in the next 24 hours, we can start to see some players get signed for Celtic. How many players will Celtic sign this summer? Do 1 to 3, 4 to 6, we'll do 7 to 9, we'll do 10 plus. I think there's lots of options in there, everyone. How many players will Celtic sign this summer? Question mark. There we go. Get involved in the poll in the chat. Go around 20 people in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. I know the World Cup is on, but Celtic's on as well, and that's a lot of people's priority. That's my priority anyway. Get involved in that poll now. How many players will Celtic sign this summer? 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, or 10 plus? Personally, if I was to say, I think we'll sign 4 to 6. Possibly when we come to the end of the window, we might get over the line with more deals. That'd be nice to see. But I don't know if we'll necessarily see it. Hopefully. But as of right now, we've nothing really to base it on. But what can you do? What can you do? And it is still a lovely day there, the 25 degrees, which has, I guess, warranted the water break in this one. I think what we'll see with these Celtic players now, they're trying to put everything into the game in the last couple of minutes. They know that they'll probably be taken off at half time and there'll be new players coming on, fresh legs, which isn't a bad thing at all. I think it's a good thing about pre-season. Everyone gets some minutes. We haven't seen Ange Balagwisha in so long. Navraki, who's out on loan, we'll see him in the second half, hopefully. Yeah. So definitely some good signs so far from these players. Who'd be my man of the match so far? From a Celtic point of view, I think McGregor's been good, the captain. Paulo Bernardo's gotten about the pitch, so definitely I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, and that's the main thing about pre-season, I think. We got a couple of votes in so far. A lot of people thinking that Celtic will sign 4 to 6 players. Yeah, I agree with that so far. Without any players in, what's there to go by that we'll see any players? Hopefully we make some signings. The January transfer window was a disaster, so yeah, the only way is up. The only way is up from there. As we can see, the Celtic players warming up. Shin Yamada, one of them. Adam Montgomery, player that hasn't seen much game time at Celtic in a while now. Player that's kind of see, is it going to happen is it going to happen for Adam Montgomery at Celtic? I'm not too sure. Adam Montgomery for Celtic now. Let me see what age Adam Montgomery is. He's 23. He'll be 24 on the 18th of July, just over a week now. He's had lots of loan spells. I think a move away from the club would probably do him wonders. I do. I think it'd be the best for his career overall. Will he get the move away? At what level? I think he could play in a Scottish Premiership team, no problem. Team like St Johnstone, he's been there already on loan. At a stage in his career, could he go back there? It wouldn't surprise me. It definitely wouldn't surprise me. Damien Duff, as I've touched on earlier in the video as well, he was at Celtic at a time as a coach under Neil Lennon before COVID. He then left. A lot of people would have liked to seen him stay on at Celtic. Unfortunately, that was not the case. He moved on. He's now the assistant manager at Brentford with Keith Andrews, another Irishman, in that role. Interested to see how Brentford get on from an Irish perspective. Nathan Collins as well, the captain, so big Irish connection there. The game is kind of starting to peter out a wee bit. Celtic, I'd say, in the heat as well, are starting to tire, where at Shelbourne, they have a lot more energy. But they're sitting back. Shells are not, they're not showing their hand, even though it is friendly, not as much as I'd have expected. But yeah, obviously as well today, if you haven't already realised, there's no players that have played in the World Cup as Celtic are through here, and a foul is given. Callum Osmond would have had a tap in to the back of the net, but didn't go that way. The foul's given the other way, and Celtic will have to wait a little bit longer if they want to get that goal. And that's a very soft foul. I think it was on the edge of the box. The defender, it was a tussle between him and Callum Osmond. He fell to the floor. He won the free kick. So there you go. Decision not going the way of Celtic that time. And Shelbourne lucky still not to have a yellow card, I think, with the bad tackle on Balaguisha earlier in the game. Shells do look dangerous at times, and they put this ball into the back, defended well and out for a corner. Just Shells with just under 2 minutes to go in this first half. I think a good thing that we've seen so far is no players looked out of place for Celtic. That's what you want to see sometimes in pre-season. Players come back and they have a really poor performance, and a couple of them performances just plays them out of position in a team, and they never get an opportunity to go again. But they're looking strong so far. They're looking like they're coming on the right foot with the right attitude. As this could be the opening goal for Shelbourne, it's not. It's Ross Doohan who picks up on a very, very light shot on Shelbourne's behalf. Should really be 1-0. If they get full connection on this, it's 1-0 to Shelbourne. He just flicks out at the striker, number 55 for Shelbourne. It's very poor, but Celtic get the break at that time. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this Celtic performance so far. If you are watching it live, or if you're just listening to me, let me know what player you want to see that hasn't played in this first half. I'll get the team sheet up. We'll have a new graphic at the start of the second half with the new players that have been brought on. Shells ending this half on the same foot they started the first half. The stronger of the two teams. That's the ball over the top, and that'll wind out for Ross Doohan collects it. And I don't expect there to be added time despite the water break, but there you go. That's played in. Ange Balaguisha playing in that attacking midfielder role a lot. He's got on the ball a lot, and it's Callum Osmond, and he just can't get a foot on that. That's back to the Shelbourne goalkeeper. We're now just a couple seconds away, and we will see, will there be any time added on to this game. We're over the 45 minutes now. That's a ball over the top. Could Celtic get a lead? And they cannot. The whistle's blown, and there's 2 minutes added on. Let's see. There we go, 2 minutes added on. The graphics are going well, and yeah, not bad, not bad. 2 minutes added on at the end of this first half. I guess the water breaks. Oh, Argentina have equalised. I didn't report, but they got 2 goals in the space of 5 minutes. Christian Romero assisted by Messi. 5 minutes later, on the 84th minute, Lionel Messi scores, keeping Argentina's hopes of the World Cup for a consecutive time alive. 2-2 going into the final 4 minutes in that one. In this game, we're into the last minute stoppage time. Celtic just casually playing it around the back now. I think they know They got minutes into the legs, they'll be happy with that. Still yet to see our first goal from Tolka Park in the capital of Ireland, Dublin. But I'm sure in the second half we'll start to see some action. Maybe a Shelbourne tired if they tire. And Celtic do have a cross into the box. Balagwisha now passes it back out to James Forrest. Balagwisha has it again. Some tidy footwork. Will he get a shot away? He does, and it's into the keeper's hands. And I think that'll just do it for this first half performance from Celtic. Balagwisha is a player that I've been impressed with. Obviously, there's such, I wouldn't even say high expectation. I think there's no expectation at this stage from him, but we're just hoping maybe he can do something for this team. Hopefully he can, as we head in now to the final few seconds, and the referee, I'm sure, will blow this up, and he does. That is half time. Shelbourne 0, Celtic 0 from Tolka Park. Not bad first half display from Celtic. I'm happy out. Second half will be getting underway in about 15 minutes now, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. Thank you for joining me for the first half. We will be live for the second half in about 10 minutes. Stay on the stream. I'm just going to get a drink, taking a little chill for a couple minutes, refreshing, and we'll be back for the next 10 minutes of play. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in 10 minutes for the second half of Celtic's first preseason game between Shelbourne and Celtic. Well, hello, folks. We are back now. Second half will be starting up again very, very shortly. Thank you again for joining the stream. Like and subscribe. We're a new channel here in the Celtic YouTube community, trying to build up some following, trying to build a community where everybody can get involved. And that's why we're doing this live stream for the people today. Hopefully, Celtic can get the win today, not 3 points today, not the league, but a friendly. Every game matters. Maybe this one not as much as other games, but we're still hoping Celtic can get over the line in this one for all the Irish supporters like myself and for everybody in Dublin down in Tolka Park today. So thank you everyone that stayed over the halftime break. Let me know in the comments down below who you would like to see Celtic bring on for the second half, as we'll try and get the Celtic team sheet up for you now, which has not yet been released, but there we go. A couple minutes away from the second half commencing. The teams are on the pitch, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm enjoying the stream so far. Thank you for joining everybody so far. It's been a pleasure, and yeah, get the comments in to the live chat and we'll have a discussion. That's what we're about. Everyone's comment is listened to as much as the next. So yeah, if you're a Celtic supporter, if you're a Shelbourne fan, if you've no interest in football whatsoever, get involved in the chat, subscribe to the channel and use the chat box below. So yeah, we're seeing some changes in the second half. Luke McCowan is on screen as it stands now. Hopefully Celtic release the official team sheet for the second half so we can have an idea of what is going on. We'll see some other players as it stands. Looks like Cameron Carter-Vickers might have kept his position in the spot going into the second half, which is interesting. If that is the case, it seems like Martin O'Neill will want to get as many minutes into the legs of Cameron Carter-Vickers, our American centre back. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of youth players as well. We'll put up the team as well as soon as we get it. Celtic have not released that yet, so there's only so much we can do. Halftime was 17 minutes ago. We waited 45 days. We've seen 45 minutes of football. We're about to see 45 more in the capital of Dublin, in the capital of Ireland, which is Dublin, and Tolka Park, Shelbourne. We're currently 5th in the League of Ireland. And we're underway. Let me get the scoreboard going as well for everybody so we can follow in together. Let's see, we'll get this going now. Are we underway? And we are. Shinyamada's on. Scoreboard's not yet on the screen on the broadcast live on Premier Sports today on Celtic's new streaming platform, as Shinyamada just fires that over the bar. I thought he's playing for Dublin GA, taking the points, and goals will come there, but yeah. Comment in here from Henry Line 78. Do you think Celtic need to sign? Yeah. Do you think Celtic need to sign a new goalkeeper? Now, it's an interesting one. I've been very impressed with Vijami Sinizalo since he's taken over from the injured Kasper Schmeichel. But for me, I don't think Celtic need a new goalkeeper. I think we need a new backup goalkeeper. Ross Doohan, is he up to the levels? I'm not too sure. Last season, he was the third choice keeper. Now he's been promoted for now to be the second choice keeper. So we'll see how that goes. Personally, I don't think we need a new keeper. Let me know in the chat what you think, what everyone thinks. Do Celtic need a new goalkeeper, or do we hold on to what we have in Vijami Sinizalo? Good lively start from both teams in the second half though, as Ross Doohan did keep a clean sheet in the first half. So is that signs that he's the man to go with? I'm not too sure. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. That's for everyone to decide for themselves. Personally, I think Vijami Sinizalo needs a run in the team like we seen at the tail end of last season. Kasper Schmeichel, unfortunately, he lost. It's hard for a goalkeeper to lose their pace, but he wasn't as quick in his reactions. His speed was definitely down, and that shoulder was hindering his performances throughout the season. And no one wanted to see that. Celtic supporters weren't happy with his performance, and I'd say he wasn't happy himself. Some people would have rathered he would have held himself in a different way. That wasn't the case, unfortunately, but now we have Vijami Sinizalo, and I'm very happy with him. So yeah, let me know in the comments in the live chat. Do you think Celtic need to sign a new goalkeeper? As I am about to get the live team for the second half is Shelbourne up on the screen. A couple minutes in, Premier Sports have still yet to put a scoreboard on the screen. That's okay. We'll let them off. It's the first game back. Maybe not used to getting the scoreboard up. It's been a while, but I've got the scoreboard running. Just under 48 minutes played in this game. A couple minutes into the second half. Lovely pitch in Tolka Park as well, I may add. And we will get the new team up here now. So here is the team for the second half. Sinizalo is in nets for the second half, hopefully. Keeping a clean sheet like Ross Doohan did before him. Young man Kennedy, Mike Navraki getting a return to the Celtic first team, alongside Liam Scales, who is captaining Celtic in Ireland, in Dublin. Good moment for him. We also see Adam Montgomery, who I touched on earlier in the video. Celtic put the ball into the box and it is headed out. Engels, McCowan, Turley, Hatton and Shinyamada. What's the story with him? Is he going to be staying on this season? Personally, I don't think so. I don't think he is. He's the goal scorer that Celtic need. We're hopefully signing Duran from Karabag in the next few hours, so I think Shinyamada will be moved on. Johnny Kenny returning from injury, not in the squad today. Also on the bench, we have Bonner, Dargy, Ogbanwe and Charlton, the four of them. Jude Bonner making some first team appearances before for Celtic, not yet getting on. Not sure if he will today, but I definitely think there will be a place for him in the incoming weeks as Celtic continue their pre-season tour. That ball just inside there. Good save from the Shelbourne goalkeeper. Couple opportunities there for Celtic's number 54, Turley. Fortunate, just straight at the keeper. We're also going to have a look now at the schedule as I burn it up here as one of my shortcuts. Here it is now, Celtic's pre-season tour. First, it is today, obviously, it's Shelbourne. Next Tuesday, 7:30 kickoff against Sporting Lisbon. In the heat of Lisbon, where Celtic won the European Cup in 1967. That is next Tuesday. Saturday week, the following Saturday after that game in Lisbon, we return home to Celtic Park for the first time since that magical day against Hearts, the final game of the league season. This time, taking on Middlesbrough. I don't expect the atmosphere to be on the same level. £25 per ticket for that one on Saturday the 18th of July, 3 p.m. kickoff. The following Saturday and the final Saturday before the league season commences, it's a big one. It's AC Milan, 3 p.m. kickoff as well. We're going to see some stars of the game. You could say AC Milan obviously not having the best season last year, but we're going to see what they're going to bring to Celtic Park. 4 good games overall to get the legs up and ready and to decide, are some of these players good enough to be at Celtic next season? I don't think many people take preseason too seriously. Last year we bet Newcastle 4-0. That was a good performance, good result that day. Newcastle had a big support, but that didn't really continue on to Celtic's form as we headed into the new season. Unfortunately, getting knocked out by Kairat, low scoring games, losing to teams that we shouldn't have been losing to, the whole big fallout over the transfer window, Brendan Rodgers, everything. So I wouldn't go off the results in pre-season too much. I would just look at the performances, what players are going well, what players are we possibly needing to move on. Still yet to see a scoreboard in this game in the second half. Premier Sports still unable to provide us with that. But if you're just joining us, there is the team for the second half on the right hand side of your screen. Celtic starting to hold possession like they did in the first half at times. It could be an opportunity for a goal here. It is not. As Shelbourne work well to get the ball clear. Could go through a few housekeeping things as well. Thank you very much everyone for joining me in this stream. It's an honour. It's my first live stream. I've been making Celtic videos since the start of January. Transfer news, previews, reactions, anything associated with Celtic Football Club. I'm all over it. And I hope you would join the channel and become a part of the community. It's free, the subscribe button. Once you subscribe, which is completely free, you can chat in the live chat, get involved, and yeah, talk all things Celtic. Or even if you've no interest in Celtic, if you're a Shelbourne fan watching this video, let me know how you think your season's going in that regard. So yeah, I know the World Cup was on Argentina. I was reporting on that earlier. They won 3-2. On the halftime break, Enzo Fernandez, no longer Chelsea midfielder, got the winning goal on the 92nd minute. That is tough to take for Egypt. Unfortunate for them. They scored twice. One got disallowed. They scored 3 overall, really. One got disallowed for a foul. Haven't seen that back yet. It's unfortunate for them. Messi and Argentina managing a way to get over the line. But it's all about Celtic here as balls fired into the box and cannot be retrieved by a Celtic player. Shelbourne come away with that and they win a free kick around the centre circle. So far, second half performance has been similar to the first half. Ebbs and flows for both teams, momentum shifts, but no real clear indication on who is the standout team. Really 50-50 game so far as we see Mike Navracki on the big screen. He's a player that I'm excited to see. I touched on him in the first half. We're seeing 45 minutes of him now. Hopefully he can put his best foot forward and make somewhat of a claim to get into the Celtic team next season. We're going to have a bit of competition. We're going to have Cameron Carter-Vickers, Liam Skills, Austin Trusty when he comes back from the World Cup, Mike Navracki. No more Stephen Welsh, Benjamin Arthur, who was on loan last season. He's back to Brentford. I don't think we'll see him again. He was good when he got his opportunity. Games at Ibrox and Pataudry away when he was thrown into that one. But I just unfortunately don't think we will see him back next, or this season now, I guess. It's that time of year now. 7th of July. Tuesday the 7th. A couple of years ago, maybe before COVID, we'd have Champions League qualifiers this time of year. Them games against Linfield, Alash Kert in the opening round of the Champions League. Thankfully, the Scottish coefficient for now is in a better place and we do not have to worry about them qualifiers for now. In a couple of years we might, if Scottish teams don't perform well in the European competitions. Talking about that, Hearts, they'll be in Champions League qualifiers in a couple of weeks. What do we want for them? From a Celtic point of view, from a Scottish football point of view, from a Scottish fan point of view, do we want them to get into the Champions League or the Europa League, or what's your thoughts on that? I think it's an interesting one. Maybe people don't have as strong of feelings as it if it was Rangers. A lot of people don't want Rangers ever to qualify for the Champions League due to the financial rewards, stuff like that. So it's one to keep an eye on. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you want Hearts to get into the Champions League? It'll be a tough ask for them. Lots of qualifying rounds to go through, but we'll have to see. Shelbourne now, as we do finally have a timer. I must update my timer just to get it precisely, to get exactly what it is. And we're up to 55 minutes, and 37 seconds. And there we are, we're synced up now. 55 minutes and 45 seconds have passed on the clock. Yeah. And Luke McCown's on the ball now with some bright blue boots in that spectacular new Celtic 26-27 home top. Let me know, will you be buying that top or will you be continuing the Not Another Penny campaign? Lots of talk over the amount of merchandise that Celtic have been releasing, and Adidas, I know it's a bit on them. Celtic don't have a say, but they signed off on the deal. Adidas release a lot of tops, a lot of nice gear, but does that mean you'll be buying it just because there's a Celtic logo on it, or will you be listening to the Celtic Fans Collective campaign of Not Another Penny? I think we really need sign-ins before people's going to be going out and splashing the cash on what will be 3 new kits, training gear, Adidas ranges. I think there's so much gear out there right now for Celtic fans to buy, but we're not seeing the players come in until there's money spent. I don't think a lot of Celtic fans will be passing their money over to the Celtic board and Adidas. But it's now going to be a crossing opportunity into the box. Luke McCown in front of the Celtic supporters, shooting from left to right. Corner into the box, and that is well over. Liam Skills manages to get ahead on it, but to no real direction, and it's a shot and it's just wide. Celtic still yet to score in this game, 0-0, with thousands of hoops in the crowds, lots of yellow jerseys in there as well, some retro Celtic ones. But so far it's been an entertaining game for a pre-season friendly. Sometimes the intensity can be quite low in these games, but I guess, as I've touched on, Shelbourne already halfway through their league season. they'll be up for this game, preparing for future league games, future European clashes. And in saying that now, let's have a look at their future schedule the next couple of weeks. What is set out for them? So on Friday, 17th of July, so Friday week now, they have a game against Kerry FC in the FAI Cup second round. 23rd of July, they'll have a game in the Europa Conference League qualifying stage, which they'll be home for the first leg, and on the 30th of July, they will be away with a game scheduled against Waterford the following day, so that game will be rescheduled. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully as many Irish teams can do well in Europe. That would be good for Irish coefficient, for the Irish team, for the Irish league, and there might be a trickle to the Irish national team as well. You never know. You never know. Shelbourne now down this left-hand side with Kennedy, one-on-one. It's a ball in, deflected off, and that'll go into the hands of Ajami Sinizalo, who we're now over 10 minutes into the second half, and there hasn't been much opportunity for Sinizalo to get hands on ball, which is okay. It's never a bad sign. Long may that continue, unless there is a save that has to be made. Shelbourne this time retrieve the ball quite easily. Liam Scales putting on the pressure, and you can see that's a first team player, the intensity he's burning. Liam Scales, I think he's a big part to play this season. Who is the two starting centre backs? I think that's a question a lot of Celtic fans are asking themselves. Is it going to be Cameron Carter-Vickers and Austin Trusty? Is it going to be Liam Scales and Austin Trusty, Liam Scales and Carter-Vickers, Mike Navrocki, or does he come into this? Not starting, I don't think. But who starts for Celtic in the centre back position? Does Martin O'Neill go to 3 at the back? I don't think so. I think Celtic fans are still scarred from Wilfred Nancy and that overall experiment, as Shelbourne are now making a couple substitutions. Will Jarvis coming off number 36, and they're making a number of substitutions, trying to get some youth players a game. Good experience for them going forward as well. Overall, a game like this is a benefit to both sides, really. With a lot of substitutions now being made, and a player that I've touched on earlier, who we'll have a look at now again, is coming onto the pitch for Shelbourne. That player being Harry Wood, 24 games this season, 10 goals and 5 assists. There's also Shelbourne's form in the past 5 games there as well. Yeah, so we've just hit the 60th minute of the game. Let me know how you think Celtic's getting on. Where do you think Celtic's going to finish in this league season? And what's your real takeaways from pre-season overall? Anything you got to do Celtic, let me know in the live chat. Love hearing all the comments, all the discussion about Celtic. And yeah, subscribing to the channel allows you to comment as well, completely free. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the start of the season, the 3rd of August against Dundee. A 7:30 kickoff for that one, for the Irish supporters travelling over on the buses, on the ferry. So you got to respect the thoughtfulness from the club on that one. That's put out for a corner to Celtic just over 61 minutes into the game. It's a beautiful evening as the sun starts to set over the north side of Dublin. Arnie Engels, haven't seen him much so far in this game. Will we see a good delivery into the box? Will the new set piece coach bring the impact? That's a ball into the box. It's a corner taken short. Luke McCowan follows it up into the box to no avail. Celtic now trying to add some more pressure. It is a cross again, this time into the back of the box, and it's just straight out of there. Celtic unable to capitalise on a set piece. I think the special thing about these fixtures between Celtic and the Irish clubs is the supporters all mixing. Yes, it's 2 different teams, but there's a lot of similarities between the supporters, the Irish connection there. It's good to see, and always good behaviour and just good atmosphere. When I was at the Celtic v Sligo Rovers game at the showgrounds a number of years ago, everyone was mixed together, and it made for a brilliant atmosphere on a cool, should I say, it was a cool night down in Sligo that day. But the supporters bus was there and left for a great atmosphere. Celtic getting the win. Luis Palmas, hat-trick. Fantastic. Luis Palma, player that has been sold to Lech Poznan in the summer transfer window for around £5 million. Celtic getting back the money which they bought him for. He also added a couple of goals in the Champions League. That goal against Feyenoord, the goals against Atletico Madrid. So some big moments for Luis Palma. Wish him the best in his career. A player that a lot of Celtic fans were happy to see the back of. For me personally, I like seeing Luis Palma play. He wasn't suited to Celtic. There's no way around that. But I was happy when he played. I really enjoyed some of his moments. Also had a great goal away up at Dingwall, Ross County away. So wish him the best in the future of his career. Mike Navraki now strong with the header. Still yet to see much from a couple of Celtic's main men. Shin Yamada now gets on the ball. And it's a ball swung over the top. But again, Celtic can't do anything with it. The longer this game goes on, it looks like it could end up being a 0-0 draw. Not the start Celtic would have wanted, but at the end of the day, as long as Celtic come away with this with no injuries and some increased fitness levels, that's pretty good to me. That's pretty good to me. Down the left-hand side now. I think sometimes in the midfield now, when Callum McGregor comes off in these type of games, we lose his intensity, a bit of his work rate, and it was overall footballing IQ. Celtic just, they lack on that one. The poll that I done 45 minutes ago now, how many players will Celtic sign this summer? 64% of the people said 1 to 3. So that's a lot of people now. Thank you everyone for voting. 24% said 5 to 6. 9% of the people said 10 plus, and only 3% said they would sign between 7 and 9 players. So yeah, we're going to do another poll now. This time it's going to be a yes or no one. Will Celtic qualify for the Champions League? We'll get that done in a couple of minutes now. 64 minutes and a half on the clock. There you go. Sorry, pal, I'm not too sure what that comment means. Maybe I'm missing something, but... Okay, so next poll, as we head into the last 25 minutes of Celtic's opening pre-season game. Will Celtic qualify for the Champions League? Personally, I think we have to. We need to. For the board's always talking about we need to progress as a football club and we're trying to become an elite club. If Celtic really do want to become that elite club, we need to get into the Champions League. We should have been in the Champions League last season. The recruitment wasn't up to scratch, and that's why we didn't get in. And there's no two ways about that. Will Celtic qualify for the Champions League? Yes or no? And if you're joining the chat now, we'll get up the Celtic starting 11 for the second half. Here it is. Sinazalo will be the goalkeeper for this one. A couple of votes in already. Will Celtic qualify for the Champions League? 100% yes so far. Loving the optimism. I think I'll have to go yes as well. It's on the edge of the box. A shot is wrapped in there by McArdle, I think that was, but just over the top. I think outside the box, that's Celtic's closest chance of the game so far. It wasn't far away. Definitely an opportunity for Celtic to go 1-0 ahead. Their keeper was rooted to his goal line. That's just over the top. Yeah. The shadows are getting longer too in Dublin on the north side. As the sun is starting to set, you can see the outline of the stand. It's a lovely ball through there. I think that was Arnie Ingles puts that through. Celtic on the counter-attack now on the wide. The left-hand side cutting inside, and it's just over the top of the crossbar. Thank you again to all the new viewers on the channel. It is a pleasure. It's my first live stream that I have done here on the Owen McDonagh YouTube channel, and I'm happy to share it with everybody in the chat. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the start of the season, and if you want to get involved in the live chat, subscribe. That's all you got to do, and like the stream. So far the stream's been fantastic, spreading it all the positivity with Celtic supporters. Hopefully some signings in. Any news or Celtic signings will be reported on the channel as soon as it happens. So anywhere you want to get your Celtic news, this is the fastest place you'll get it. We've got 17 likes on the stream so far. Massive thank you. Quick, try and get to 20 before the end of the game as we're in the 67th minute. In the heat of Lisbon, the 60th anniversary of the Lisbon Lions, Celtic winning the European Cup, which is their 60th anniversary kit that they're wearing this season, made by Adidas. It's another ball into the box. We've seen lots of crosses today. Not sure if that's an intent from Celtic or is that just more how the game's playing out. But a lot of the time last season in the league games, we've seen a lot of playing around back and forth rather than actually getting the decisive moment. And that could be a penalty for Celtic. That was a very strong tackle. And that's the second time we've seen a Shelbourne player going firing in. This time Shin Yamada was on the end of it. And I think we'll need to see a replay on that again, but I think that could have been a penalty. I really do. Celtic do get the ball back, but I think Celtic definitely have a shout there for a penalty. Obviously no VAR in this game. We do have a hydration break, which I was very mesmerised by at the start of it and around the 30th minute. But Celtic get an opportunity outside the box, this time just wide. Very unfortunate. Luke McCowan at the edge of the box. The Celtic team is coming into this game now, getting a bit of momentum. That's what I like to see, a bit of pressure. And as we see this tackle again on Shin Yamada, the first challenge, he might just win the ball. I think that's a 50-50. Oh, you need it slowed down, and that he goes flying in, the ball goes flying, but I'm not sure if he gets the man or if he goes through Yamada to get the man. So then we see Luke McCowan shot again from the outside of the box. So far in the poll, about 5 minutes in, will Celtic qualify for the Champions League? 80% says yes, 20% says no. Let me know why you say yes, you think Celtic can, or if you're in the minority, the 20%, why do you think Celtic will not get into the Champions League? As we now hit the 70th minute, and it is now the water break. The hydration break has reached Dublin. It has reached Celtic. And a game in Tolka Park in Dublin is under the hydration break. Players in the second half have been impressed by Luke McCowan getting on the ball. Liam Scales and the opportunities he's had has came out with it nicely. And you might be wondering, why is there a hydration break? Well, temperatures are high right now. In Dublin it is 25 degrees. That's what it was in the first half. Let me check what it is now. In Dublin, yeah, 24 degrees. Still a warm day as it hits about 7:30 in the evening. It will be starting to cool down a little bit now. Can't expect the heat to last that long in Dublin, but you know, still, there you go. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed to the channel as well. We've reached 665 subscribers. 865. It is a real pleasure. If we try and get to 870, that would mean a lot. There'll be lots of videos coming in the next few days. Hopefully with some transfer news, that would be absolutely fantastic. We've really been lacking, but I have a feeling Celtic will start to get moving now, and we'll start to see some, hopefully, I don't want to say it 100%, but hopefully we see some transfers in the door with Duran, who we'll have a look at. We had a look at him in the first half. Camilo Duran scored 5 goals in the Champions League last year. Now, if that's not something to be excited about, I don't know what is. As I'm just going to try and get the subscriber count live on screen so we can track that as it happens. So yeah, 62 minutes have passed. Martin O'Neill sitting very, very casually on the bench, not too stressed. I think the last few games of the season, he was probably a little bit more stressed in a stressful environment. Winning 7 games in a row in the league, not to be looked down upon. As I think we are seeing a substitution for Celtic in this second half. Let me just check for sure. I think we are seeing possibly Jude Bonner coming on. So yeah. We're back underway now, just on the 73rd minute of this game. And the ball reaches Vijami Sinazalo. He's the pink boots on. Pink boots that everyone has been wearing during this FIFA World Cup. Liam Scales on the ball now. Vijami Sinazalo coming about halfway outside his own net now into the middle of the Celtic half. So yeah, it does feel like the heat might be getting to the players a little bit. Shelbourne obviously don't want to extract too much energy, but in saying that, they'll still want to put on a good display for the supporters. Martin O'Neill, nice shirt on this evening beside Sean Maloney, showing off the new Celtic training gear. Now a couple more minutes into the poll. Get involved in the live chat. Let me know any thoughts you have on Celtic, who Celtic will sign, what positions we need to look at. We have around 50 people in here. Thanks so much. We'll be streaming all the preseason games on the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the 3rd of August. What's on the 3rd of August? The return of the Scottish Premiership for the Champions Flag Day. So yeah, get involved in the channel. If you want to comment on this stream, all you gotta do is subscribe, and that allows you to comment. Thank you to everyone that subscribed so far and liked the stream. We'll check on the live stream now. We're up to 18 likes. Thank you so much to everybody supporting the channel. It means a lot to me doing this for the first time. What else would mean a lot to me right now? A Celtic goal would mean a lot. Doesn't look like it's going to come right now. I think it's going to really need to be a moment of brilliance from Celtic if we're going to see a goal. So hopefully Celtic show us something that gives us a bit of encouragement. And it is a Shelbourne goal kick. So yeah, it is definitely a change, used to the big stadiums of the Champions League, and especially the World Cup. But Tolka Park, there's a charm about it. It has its tin roof, something you don't see too often anymore. Hearts used to have it. Archibald Leith stand, their main stand a couple of years ago at Tynecastle, not anymore. Old stadiums as well. You got Pittodrie, tin roof in some parts, and there's definitely a charm in it. And coming to these smaller grounds, we'll look at Shelbourne now and have a look at their recent form. Obviously Shelbourne, Tolka Park, not obviously, but its capacity 9,681, a sold out crowd at Tolka Park this evening. And what a brilliant evening it is for football. Oh, they would love a little goal to celebrate, to cheer on right now. Speaking about a possible incoming, Camilo Duran, 5 goals in the Champions League, which I briefly mentioned earlier in the stream. Celtic have reportedly reached an agreement for him. £5.5 million. The 24-year-old from Colombia scored 15 goals in 45 games overall last season at his first season at Karabag in Azerbaijan. Before that, he played in Portugal, the second division there. So 5 goals in the Champions League. That's the experience we want at Celtic. 76% of the people in the chat think Celtic will qualify for the Champions League. If you want to vote in that, subscribe to the channel and get involved. It means a lot to me, and the discussion, that's my favourite part about it. Celtic fans all coming together in the one place for discussion. We'll be doing a lot more of these streams as we come in further into the season. Now 77 minutes into the game, Arnie Engels still yet to make a big impact. Is this one of the last times that we'll see him in a Celtic shirt? Possibly. Hopefully not. He's a player that I really like. A lot of people have mixed thoughts about him. For me, he's a player that I really want to see thrive at Celtic. Unfortunately, I think people really just expected him to have the same impact as Matt O'Reilly, and they're not the same type of player. So I think it's unfortunate for Engels, who he came in after Matt O'Reilly, having one of the most standout seasons in a Celtic shirt. But there you go. Celtic are, they're probing a little bit, not as much as we'd want. Just over 10 minutes to go in this game. Don't expect there to be too much added time. There's 2 minutes added on at the end of the first half. Will we see that again in the second? Possibly, with that hydration break adding on the time. Celtic have a corner. It's taken short again. That's a lot of short corners we've seen. Celtic might be continuing that trend again, possibly for another season. And the free goes the other way as we prepare for some substitutions. Shelbourne, yet again, the ones getting involved in the subs. Celtic making all their subs a full 11 changed at halftime. As we look to get the subscriber count up. Number of substitutions, looks like the goalkeeper as well for Shelbourne, so they will have a completely new team compared to what it was when they started the game. Gannon as well, a player that has so much experience throughout the League of Ireland, playing for Dundalk in their glory years. Shamrock Rovers as well. So Shelbourne, they're a team with a mix of lots of experience and a bit of youth coming through as well. Mid-table this year, wishing them the best as well for their season forward. The ball's hit long this time. Will Vijami Sinizalo have a save to make in this second half? We're yet to see him make any saves. There was a couple opportunities in the first half that Shelbourne just narrowly missed when the ball went to the left-hand side, hitting the post. Ross Dutton could do nothing about it. Luckily for Celtic, the ball went wide, hit the post, bounced back out, fell into the feet of a Celtic player. I think I'm now able to get the subscriber count on the channel. Thank you everyone for subscribing so far. Get involved in the poll that we have running. Will Celtic qualify for the Champions League? I sure do hope so. Sure do hope so. Just less than 10 minutes to go. Shelbourne, they'll be seeking a goal now. A lot of young players they have on, a lot of inexperienced players overall out of the 22 men on the pitch. Arnie Engels, Liam Scales being the two outliers, you could say, that have experience. They've played Champions League football. They know what it's all about. The two of them, the pair, are scoring goals in the Champions League. Arnie Engels getting the penalty against Slovan Bratislava. And Liam Scales getting a goal on that same night in a historic 5-1 win for Celtic. As we are now one step closer to getting the subscriber count on the screen. This is fantastic. Hope everyone is enjoying the stream as much as I am. It's going well so far. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll be back for the pre-season games next Tuesday evening against Sporting Lisbon in Lisbon. There we go. There's the subscriber count on the screen, up to 870. Thanks so much for the support, building the community. Been doing this since about January now, and all the support's been absolutely fantastic. Up to 871. Thank you. Hopefully, for all the new subscribers to the channel, Celtic can get a goal. Hopefully, if you subscribe, it means Celtic will score a goal. Come on, Celtic, ease a goal. That should be the chant going around Tolka Park right now. All the Celtic supporters getting behind the team. And here we go. 872. Thank you, everybody, for all the subscribers on the channel as well. I might as well, when all these new subscribers are coming and everyone joining the community, there's my 2 most recent videos. This game will be over in 10 minutes. If you want a bit more of Celtic, if you're getting the buzz for it again, there's 2 videos on the right hand side of the screen. 5 players that Celtic may sell this summer, unfortunately. Benjamin Egrin could be one of them. Rio Hatate could be another. Below that, we have 5 must-sign players, the likes of Elijah Just, Cole Campbell, some more players who you'll find out in the video. I think there's a great catalogue of some videos. I'm trying to improve the content, lots of transfer news, and it's all about learning, building a community together with Celtic supporters. Shelbourne coming through now, and it's defended well and a way out for a Shelbourne corner. Liam Scales bundling that one out strongly. Thanks to everyone that is joining the stream. 67 viewers, a special number for all the Celtic supporters. European Cup final victory 60 years ago, which I've touched on, the Celtic kit as well. Another ball into the box as we're starting to see seagulls fly around Tolka Park now. I think as we come into the final 5 minutes of the game, we'll put a poll up who has been your man of the match. If you're watching this game, I'll put a few of my contenders in. Who has been your man? And we'll try and crown 3 man of the match awards after this game as well. So 4 in total will be live for all the preseason games, hopefully. So the 4 players I'm going to go for. Callum McGregor. I thought he's been very impressive today. What we're used to from the Celtic captain. What a player, what a servant he's been. He came under criticism last season, but I think he's back to his best now. Callum Osmond, another player that I'm going to include in the nominees for the Man of the Match award. Who else? Ange Balagwisha, you could say possibly he had an impact in the game for the second half. Players have done well. I think Liam Scales has impressed, and I think Luke McCowan has got on the ball. So there's 2 from the first half and 2 from the second half. Who has been your man of the match? There's that poll now. Callum McGregor, Callum Osmond, Liam Scales, or Luke McCowan. Let me know in the comments below. As Luke McCowan comes over to the right hand side just below the camera to take a throw in on the halfway line. Stream's now up to 27 likes. Thank you everyone for the support. It means a lot as there's 4 minutes to go in this game. What's up next for Celtic? You may be asking yourself. Well, here we will have the schedule. Here's the next 3 games in their preseason tour, as Shelbourne do they have a penalty? They do. It looks like Celtic have given away a penalty here right in the last few minutes of this game now. We'll need to see this again. Shelbourne may just be squeaking to a 1-0 victory here. This is interesting. Oh, I don't know. There's very light contact. The Celtic youth player bundling him over. I'm not too sure about that. As we reach 875 subscribers. Thank you everybody. And it will be a penalty. And Shelbourne have the opportunity to go 1-0 ahead in this game. Harry Wood, will he get it? as he steps up to take this penalty. This wouldn't be ideal for Celtic now. Number 7 for Shelbourne. He steps up and he goes to the left, and it's a goal for Shelbourne. It's 1-0 in the 87th minute, and they take the lead in this game from a penalty. Not ideal from Celtic. Very soft penalty. I don't think it is a penalty in my opinion with the Celtic green tinted glasses, but that is unfortunate now. I think it's a very soft penalty to give away. And who else was going to score it but Harry Wood? 24 games this season, 10 goals. Make that 11 now if you're including this friendly. And 5 assists. Unfortunate from a Celtic point of view, but at the end of the day, we got some good minutes into the legs. 2 minutes to go. Not what we'd want, but there you go. There you go. Get involved in the man of the match poll as well. 2 minutes into that. Who's been your man of the match? All you need to do to vote in that poll in the live chat is subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all the new subscribers today. We're up to 876 subscribers. Thank you so much. We're trying to get to 1,000 before the start of the new season, August 3rd. That home game against Dundee on a Monday night, 7:30 kickoff for the champions to commence Flag Day. Just over a minute to go of normal time here now. Still yet to see the opening Celtic goal of the game. That's just flashed wide from another Celtic player again. It's not going to be Celtic's day. We can't find the back of the net. If that doesn't mean Celtic need a striker desperately, I don't know what will. Duran hopefully getting into the club as soon as possible. It's an interesting one too. Julian Araujo, I wouldn't expect him to be joining the club on a permanent basis. What an impact he had. A fan favourite for many people at Celtic. And for me, I loved watching him play. The energy he brought was unfortunate about the injury, but Alistair Johnson came back at just the right time for Celtic. As we head into the final 15 seconds, where we will see some time added on now. It's been a pleasure going through this game with everybody today. I hope you did enjoy. I hope you will be back for the next live stream next Tuesday as we head into 3 minutes of added time, as the ball is just wide and out for a goal kick. Or is it not? It's Celtic have the ball and it's a penalty to Celtic. Celtic have been given a penalty. I have no idea what happened there. The ball went through as a cross into the box, and Celtic have an opportunity to level this game. Has been given as a push. A Celtic player was pushed in the box. No contact on the ball. Number 15 for Shelbourne bundled him to the ground. And this is an opportunity for Celtic. Shin Yamada will take this penalty. He could be getting himself a man of the match award if he nets this. Celtic have the opportunity to salvage a draw, which would be impressive, you know. He will step up now. He has the ball in place. He's ready to go. Now is the time to make an impact for Shin Yamada if he wants an opportunity at Celtic. Will he score? Let me know in the comments below. He steps up now. He is getting ready to take it. There's a little stutter. Shin Yamada, and it's into the bottom corner. Celtic level it 1-1 as we're in the final few minutes. Shin Yamada gets the goal. I think Shin Yamada deserves great amount of credit for slotting that back into the net. Celtic thankfully get a goal today. We've been waiting for a goal. All the new subscribers, thank you for joining. We still have a minute left. Can we get to 880 subscribers as Shin Yamada nets into the bottom of the net to salvage a draw for Celtic? I don't think too many people went for a 1-1 scoreline before the game. Personally, I went for 3-3. I thought there'd be lots of goals. We didn't see many goals until the last couple minutes here. We've seen 2 penalties now. Shin Yamada scoring for Celtic and Wood scoring for Shelbourne, as this game is set to go for a goal apiece as we head into the final 20 seconds of the game. Overall, I'm glad Celtic got lots of minutes into the legs today. A successful run out. let's have a look at the man of the match poll. If you want to get involved in that, final opportunity now to get involved in who will become the man of the match. We're going to crown a man of the match player for all of the preseason games and all the live streams that we do. So far, 6 minutes into the poll, Callum McGregor's winning. I'll give my vote at the end if it turns out to be a draw. Callum McGregor's on 50%, Callum Osmond's on 25%, Liam Scales on 25%, and Luke McCown on 0%. So it looks like Callum McGregor is going to be the man to take home the man of the match award from the Owen McDonagh YouTube channel community. Not from me, but from everyone subscribing to the channel. It means a lot. Lots of Celtic content coming up in the next few weeks of the transfer window. Hopefully we see Camilo Duran come into the club in the next few weeks. We're well over now, the 3 minutes added on, I guess, with the celebration of the 2 goals. We're still yet to see the full-time whistle. Celtic on the attack, trying to get one last opportunity before the end of this game. Hopefully, in the next 24 hours, we can see Camilo Duran. £5.5 million is the reported fee that he will be joining the club. So, hopefully, we'll see Camilo Duran. And the minute he is announced, there'll be a video up on the Owen McDonagh YouTube channel, trying to bring you Celtic news as soon as it is announced for all the people in the community. Callum McGregor is now turning out to be a resounding winner, 71%, as we're ready to hit the full-time whistle. Martin O'Neill is ready for it. He'll be happy with the run out in this game. And that is the full-time whistle. Celtic 1, Shelbourne 1 in the opening game of Celtic's pre-season. I'm happy with that. I'm happy out. Thank you everyone for joining. A quick overview of the game. Celtic at spells looked very promising. I thought Luke McCown in the second half. In the first half, Callum McGregor, Paulo Bernardo really bossed the game, controlling the midfield. Shelbourne did come close in the first half, hitting it off the post. But before we end it here, and before we look at who won the vote for the man of the match, I want to thank all the Celtic supporters for joining. There's lots of Celtic content on the channel. Check out the different videos I'll put up here now, what we have on offer on the channel. So lots of different content. Check out on the channel right now. 5 players Celtic may sell in this window, 5 players we may sign. Lots of content coming on the channel now, so definitely an opportunity to get back into the buzz, back into Celtic. No better time. 1-1 draw, Shinyamata netting on the opening game of pre-season. Thank you everybody for joining. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's all get a part of the journey before the 3rd of August, before Celtic kick off their title defence. Again, while we get over the line, while we win the league, that'll be discussed in the weeks ahead. So now, without further ado, let's look at who won the man of the match, who will become the man of the match for the Owen McDonagh community. This is not voted by me, this is the people in the community. 10 minutes we had on the poll. One final chance now to get your vote in before I end the poll. And all you need to do to vote in the poll as well for the man of the match is subscribe to the channel. Join the journey, join Celtic supporters in one of the fastest growing Celtic channels in the world of Celtic channels. So to end now this poll, Callum McGregor has won the poll for the man of the match. Congratulations to Callum McGregor. Thank you to everybody who checked out this live stream. We'll be back on Tuesday for another live stream. Before then, we'll be back with any transfer news as it happens. Subscribe with notifications on so you can see the news as it happens. So yeah, have a great evening folks. Come on the hoops. Hopefully some new signings in by the next time we see everyone here. Thank you for joining. And that's going to be all for me. Thank you. I'll see you later.